Hello, y'all. Hope everybody's doing okay. Sorry I'm late. Family stuff. Benjamin, good to see you. Cheryl, Rocksteady, too funny. Sorry about that. Al. I tried. The deal for real. Good to see you. So, explain to me why they say Happy Veterans Day. Um, Remembering our veterans, past and present. This has been a really somber weekend for me, and um, probably because of all the other stuff on top of it. But I don't know. It just, um, it was pretty cool with the cannon going off and the fireworks, but um, in the parade, and the veterans that are left that are in the parade, and just thinking of all the things that they've gone through and the scars that you can't even see and the scars you can see. God bless them all. Okay, so I have videos and songs. Which one first? I hope y'all enjoy it, and I hope it really does pay a tribute to all the veterans that should have respect and honor throughout the year, not just one day. Other things get a month and they get one day, and we should always remember our veterans. Here we go.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and to bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of those officers appointed over me according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God.
We celebrate Veterans Day on the anniversary of the armistice that ended World War I, the armistice that began on the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. The timing of this holiday is quite deliberate in terms of historical fact, but somehow it always seems quite fitting to me that this day comes deep in autumn, when the colors are muted and the days seem to invite contemplation. It is, in a way, an odd thing to honor those who died in defense of our country, in defense of us, in wars far away. The imagination plays a trick. We see these soldiers in our mind as old and wise, but most of them were boys when they died, and they gave up two lives, the one they were living and the one they would have lived. When they died, they gave up their chance to be husbands and fathers and grandfathers. They gave up their chance to be revered old men. They gave up everything for our country, for us. And all we can do is remember. I will not fail thee, nor forsake thee. In memory of those who gave the last full measure of devotion, may our efforts to achieve lasting peace gain strength. Let us make a vow to our dead. Let us show them by our actions that we understand what they died for. Strengthened by their courage, heartened by their value, and born by their memory, let us continue to stand for the ideals for which they lived and died.
In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. I do not believe that any of us would exchange places with any other people or any other generation. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. We shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe to assure the survival and the success of liberty.
The deal for real. It's not glamorous. It's bravery. And it's not just the men and women who have gone to war. It's the sacrifices that their families have made for them to do that, for them to even join the military, knowing that they possibly might not come home. The sacrifices that wives and children made for their husbands and fathers to be overseas, doing what most people do not want to do. Only 1% of the population joins the military. I'm missing the point. Okay, I guess I am. Why do sacrifices need to be made? Okay, so if y'all were at Indy's Friday night, um, there was a discussion, and biblically, I was told that there were no wars. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute, what? And then it was said, no, in the New Testament. Well, wars have been going on. I don't think the wars have ever stopped. Not completely. And so, anyway, the question I asked was, then why do we need a military? Would you feel safe without a military? Would you think that we, the people, could defend ourselves against other countries with the weaponry that they have? I don't. I know our military has to keep up with that. Yes, there's good and bad people in everything. Everything. And that's where the problems lie, I think. A lot of times I do not believe that our military should be sent overseas. I think that it's really odd to me how money is made because of wars. I don't understand that. I don't know where the money comes from. Some countries war all the time, and I don't feel that our presence is needed there. It's that it happens, and but then some countries, our presence keeps them out of war. So I don't know. I know that I come from a lot of military family, and there's a pride in that. There's the things that they go through, the training, just the training. Do you know how many suicides are committed in basics? I don't know why. I don't know. It's a lot. And I just know that anyone who has had to go through that, it's a lot to carry. And they are forever a soldier. It doesn't stop. Since I will now show the next video, and maybe it'll explain some of that more. And that's true, Steve-O. And Steve-O, it's good to see you. That's true, Steve-O. And they don't need to be forcing us to do things, in my opinion. And thank you, Life, for putting those up. Those good reminders. I don't know if y'all know it, but the Marines celebrated their birthday yesterday. Nope, don't start. Okay, let me go back here. Were you in the military? The deal for real? Thank you. Here we go.
There are those who fight, those who fought, and those who continue to fight battles that you'll never know about. Battles of the mind, battles of the heart, battles for their lives. We're the veterans they said they'd never forget. The veterans they vowed to support. But once there was no use for us, no war for us to fight, they threw us away, forgotten. They've spit on us when they needed a villain, and they've cheered for us when they needed defenders. We were tools. We were weapons. But most of all, we were warriors. Still are. Today is Veterans Day. And all I can think is how easy it is to forget today, to celebrate today. How easy it is to forget the sacrifice these valiant men and women make time and time again. Time away from their loved ones, the duty they upheld, and the scars they've obtained, mental and physical. I know nowadays words like honor, courage, commitment, they're all just buzzwords used to sell something to someone, but for these brave few who answered the call, these words are life and death. To those who upheld these words and lived by their oaths, thank you. Sincerely, a proud patriot. And while you don't know me, Battle Buddy, I'm here to remind you of the freedom you fought for, protected and bled for, so that we could live free. Free to judge, free to critique, free to not take action, because brave men and women like yourself took those actions and gave it their all. I hate to have to say this, but the world needs heroes again. The world needs your service again. And your country needs you to pick up your chin and stand proud again. You served, you mattered, and you still matter. And what you did made shit better there and here. Don't forget that. And while the world only sees your efforts through the news, it was you who patrolled those deserts and walked those humps and took the fight to the enemy. You brought order to chaos and light to darkness. Well, today is Veterans Day. And to some, it's as important as Arbor Day. Just a reason to barbecue, go to the beach, and get drunk, and I'm all for it. But for me, it's fucking important. Because you guys matter. You confronted the evils of this world and fought your demons real time. And that's fucking badass. Some real hero shit. But now, years later, you forget the virtues once instilled in us. And you let life bring you down. And when life wears you down, and the battles become too much, and you feel like you have to throw in the towel, I'm here to remind you, don't. We don't quit. That's some pogue shit. It's not in our vocabulary. So dust off your boots, pick up your flag, and cowboy the fuck up. The world needs you. We're once soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines. Get rid of that victim shit and get back in the gym, get strong, find your way, and charge forward. Remember who the fuck you are. Happy Veterans Day, Warriors. Big salutes.
Welcome back to Songs from a Dark Cave, Part 5. This song is especially dedicated to the memory of Pat Rooney. It comes in from Danny and Anita and all the Rooney family. It's one called Brothers in Arms. These mist-covered mountains are a home for me now, but the home is the lowlands and always will be. Someday you return to your valleys and your farms, and you no longer burn to these brothers in arms. Through these fields of destruction, baptisms of fire, I witnessed your suffering as the battle raged higher. And although they hurt so bad, fear and alarm, you did not desert me, my brothers in arms. There's so many different worlds, so many different songs. We have just one world, but we live in different ones. Now the sun's gone to hell, and the moon's riding high. Let me bid you farewell, 'cause every man has to die, for it's written in the stars. Every line on your palm. Fools to make war on our brothers in arms. Fools to make war on our brothers in arms. Fools to make war on our brothers in arms.
To all our servicemen, past and present, we thank you. May God bless y'all. Keep you safe. I'm going to drop the link. Anyone wants to come up and have a conversation. So that video before the song makes me think that we all need to be doing that. We all need to be doing what we can to make ourselves stronger, physically, mentally, spiritually. I know I keep going on about that, but I can see the importance of it and how it's made me feel better. Knowing that I'm not going to be completely helpless. Excuse me. Where did I go from here? So I'm going to let y'all know that lives are going to be really scarce. This one was important to me. Knowing so many veterans. I just need time to heal. A lot. This has been going on, and so I'm doing stuff for me. Wednesday night bingo. Getting out with people, helping people. We had another fire. Young couple lost everything. Just doing what I can for my community, being with my community, church. A lot of things that are taking up my time in this little yapper. She has gotten so rotten. Well, she already was rotten. That's trying to figure out all the ways she was rotten and meet the needs she thinks she has. You run up here with me. Come here. Come. Sorry about that, y'all. One of the things I wanted to say too, in answer to the discussion Friday, we need our government it may not be as it should be. They are not the almighty power. I think that they have forgotten that. The Constitution and the people are the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence. Those documents are the foundation of this nation. And the people, we are not slaves. We are working to survive and raise our families the best way we can. And that continues throughout life. It never stops. You never stop being a mother or a father or a sister or a brother. It's the way it is. And so it is my opinion that, as the Constitution says, we have assemblies and we have militias. And hopefully that's what's going to build this country back as it should be. Hey, Andy, good to see you. You heard your ears ringing. I'm not saying we have to go to war anywhere here or anywhere else. I've always heard the pen is mightier than the sword. Use it. Use your voice. There's so many things that people can be doing. I was talking about your discussion Friday, Indy. I think that the person I was talking to was confused about what the assembly is. It is not building an army. It is not in the sense of our military. It is not to cause trouble, or it's the lawful way to go. Just put it that way. Hey, Jeannie, good to see you. That's pretty true, Jeannie, except for I don't know. They've got a big problem going on in Hawaii, and I feel bad for them. Baby, what is wrong? Come here. Come on. Come on. You have to jump because you won't let me pick you up. Oh, I know what you want. So guess who else has gotten addicted to vanilla wafers? Anything I eat, she thinks she has to eat. So, yep. That's what she's asking for. And I'm not eating them. And there she goes. All right. Goodness. I'm gonna drop the link again. If any of y'all have anything to say or any ideas on where we go from here, I just don't see Trump being able to do it by himself. I don't see um, I see us having to do something, and now it's past now. We've seen what they've done. For a long, long time. And they, who is they? We all have different opinions of who they are. The evil. So yes, probably is a spiritual warfare going on. But I can see blessings coming also. Let's see. Guess I could play another song if y'all want to. I went to Indy's playlist and picked out a couple. I don't know. I just hope today was a good day for all the veterans. And I hope it continues to be. Our local businesses, free beer, free food, free a lot of stuff. The Veterans Memorial is beautiful. They did a really good job on it. They just got that constructed this past year. And I hope they keep up with each other. The brothers in arms, it is a brotherhood between the men and the women. And it doesn't stop. One of my friends here served with Ashley Babbitt, and so yeah, there's that. All right, here's another song for y'all. This one's probably going to be a short live tonight, but I just wanted to honor our veterans and hopefully let them know that we're all thinking about them, not just today, every day. So let's share some songs. 2 songs. Here we go.
soldier. I'm a soldier. When times get hard, I'm who they call. I'm a soldier. When my back's against the wall, breaking now or fall, I'm a soldier. I know how it feels to be caught in the rain. Going to war in your brain when the pressure is staring you right in the face and anxiety's grabbing you, making you shake. But there's people depending on you to be great, so you hide all the feelings and push them away. It's too hard trying to mix it all with the pain. I'm drinking the cool off and it's all in my veins. I'm making these new songs to move on to restrain from grabbing the sword off and going to copy the name. At these nuanced people who shame the role that a man is to play as a husband, a father, a brother, a son to a servant, protecting his family's name. They laugh in your face when you try to explain or express. Then tell you they love you without any loyalty, patience, and basic respect. Then expect you to smile every day while it eats in your mind and your soul, your flesh and your work, and you wither away to the day that you can't, and you're broken and nothing is left in your world, and you can't even soldier. I'm a soldier. When times get hard, I'm who they call. I'm a soldier. I'm the one who they call. When my back's against the wall, breaking now or fall. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. My pronouns are he, him, his. My job is to feed these kids. Be strong, keep feelings within. My papa taught me to protect the weak. A man ain't what he got, a man is what he gives. And when he gives it all, then it still ain't enough that he's the one to blame and no one gives a shit. Never leave a man behind. We'll crack and break within the hands of time. I got an axe to grind. With anybody trying to identify as a guy, if their chromosomes ain't XY, you would never understand what it's like for a man. Gotta fight with your hands, wanna cry, but you can. If it's right for the fam, you will tighten your pants. Provide a romance, you would die where you stand. Gotta be the bigger man when there's problems. Get judged by the money in your wallet. It's our fault, let's be honest. We built the world and labeled us toxic. We gotta lead and teach and keep the peace and fight the fires and be police. When a man gets tired, he don't lay down to sleep. He take all the heat, don't complain, no retreat. It's a cold world and it's hard times, and our children inherit the land. You think that being the boys is picking the pronoun? You should try being the dad. You can build all the houses and fix all the cars and work till you're breaking your back. But the hardest job in the world, being a man. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. When times get hard, I'm who they call. I'm a soldier. I'm the one who they call. When my back's against the wall, breaking now or fall. I'm a soldier. 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 Battling feelings I can't even show. Weight of the world on my shoulders is crushing me. People around me, they don't even know. I put on this cape and go save everybody while I'm being shattered and all of my bones. Take on the pressure of being the hero who saves, but has no one to help with his own. Demons inside that try to eat him alive. I'm going insane, and when I'm out of my mind, I look at the stars and talk to God in the sky. I wait on his words, but I don't get a reply. I try to refrain from diving deep, so I hold back tears that try to come out my eyes. In this world as a man where we know we can't cry, cause the people we love look at us to confide. So I'm silently screaming for help. Life is a battle inside of these trenches, especially when fighting it all by yourself. PTSD from the memories, people who left you for dead and then drug you through hell, leaving you shot deep inside of a shell with stories you hate but nobody to tell. While you question God if you're soldier. I'm a soldier. When times get hard, I'm who they call. I'm a soldier. I'm the one who they call. When my back's against the wall, breaking now or fall. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier. I'm a soldier.
Hello, What Life? Saw you over there at Bushcrafts playing trivia. Are you there?
All right, I'm back. Had to reestablish connections.
Oh, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well. Can't
Good.
complain.
It's good to hear.
Yeah, I like Dax. I like most of his songs.
Oh, really? Good.
Yeah, he always has a good message. You know, I mean, even somebody might not like rap, but I mean, it's a good message.
Yep. That's what I said. It said a lot. Hey, D-Dog. Is anything new going on?
Oh, it's always something new. I think they caught some more of the monkeys that got loose in South Carolina. But no, not a whole lot. I ain't been doing a whole lot of digging.
Yeah.
As far as veteran,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No. Go. Veterans Day.
Oh no, as far as I was going to say, as far as Veterans Day, of course, I never served in the military. I've got a couple coworkers that's ex-military. My boss, he wasn't. He was working mainly the civilian capacity, but he worked as a civilian contractor overseas for a while, hooking up electrical grids and stuff like that on the basis. Both of my grandfathers served in the military. My grandfather Lucius, he was a Marine. My granddad Frank, he was in the Army. I had an uncle that was in the Army. A couple other uncles that was in the Air Force and the Navy.
Stop.
I think that was about it.
Yeah, that's all of my grandmother's brothers were in World War II. Stepdad was in Vietnam, Korea, and whatever the one was after that. I think
Vietnam.
I know he was in 3 of them: Vietnam, Korea, and one other one.
Couldn't tell you right off. I should know, but I don't.
Yeah.
Caught me off guard.
And yeah, he had the after effects with the Agent Orange, and he's got one eye, one glass eye.
Mm.
And my brother was in the Navy. My son was in the Army. Well, he went to basic and got injuries, so he didn't get to finish basics. But that was hard. So that's I know the feeling when your children go off. It's like, and he was right at the cutoff age when he decided to do that. Had a wife and 2 kids, and it's like, got to do this, Mom. And I said, I understand. But I understand. And I'm proud of you. But yeah. So I do have a newsy thing that I wanted to share with y'all, because it's unbelievable for me. It is absolutely unbelievable in Texas that this is even being done. Let me pull it up. San Antonio, Texas, District 9 prepares for second voluntary weapon exchange event. Can you believe that?
I can believe it, even though I think it's pure insanity. I don't know who would do that.
I don't either. The city of San Antonio District 9 is set to host another voluntary weapons exchange drive-through event later this month. Residents are encouraged to turn in firearms and ammunition in exchange for an HEB gift card.
Probably what, $100?
I was just like, no way. Second, well, I never heard about the first one, but
There's a guy, I can't think of his name. You probably could find him maybe later on, but it's a guy in Texas, and he's got like a Second Amendment channel, and he got in trouble in one town, but he still does it. But he goes around to like places that do that, like those those things you just mentioned,
mhm,
and he'll stop. I mean, he'll interact with people in the parking lot, and he'll say, "Hey, these people's fixing to give you $100 gift card." He offers them cash. You
cool.
know, some people don't even. He's like, Why would you do that?
Yeah,
And it was people lined up around the corner. Yeah, same thing.
yeah. They said the first time their goal was, I think, 500, and they ended up getting 900. And this time their goal is 1,000.
Oh,
And
they'll have 2,500 people lined up.
yeah, and I think I shared it on my community page. Guns and Gadgets. He was talking about Second Amendment, of course, and he was saying, and I don't know if it was him. I think he was playing a video, but this man was saying, he said, "Okay, how come we pay millions of dollars for airbags inside the vehicles? And how come we pay millions of dollars to have seatbelts put in those vehicles?" And he was talking about all the things of safety that millions of dollars are put into, that it doesn't make any sense, that they feel like taking the guns away from the people, or the people giving away their guns, whatever it is a good idea. It and into you're right, fools. That's what they are.
What's the go? Well, I already know what their goal or purpose is. Inevitably, what did they say their goal is for doing this? What is their reasoning? Did they give
It
a reason?
is to for safety,
Oh,
for
of course, it's a direct threat to democracy.
yes, and then you don't have to worry about people breaking in and stealing your guns, or accidents happening, or
No, they're just going to break in your house, and you're not going to have a way to defend yourself, and they're going to steal your gift card that you just got for turning in your gun.
right.
I mean, it's
Yes,
you can laugh at it, but these are like the precursors of like other things to come. You know what I mean? They're just doing these little test stages now, while they're saying, "Oh, willingly." Um, that's what leads me to believe if they didn't have a higher goal, they wouldn't be doing stuff like this. Just like when New York was doing the get your free cheeseburger and fries with your jab. Look at this cheeseburger. You can get
yes,
you a free cheeseburger. Like those
lottery
type of
tickets and all kinds of,
gimmicks that people just go for.
yes, and uh, it it's sad to know that there are that many people that, I don't know if it's from greed or if it's just absolute stupidity. I don't know. It um
It's a
fear.
combination of a lot.
Yeah, free lap dances. Remember that? Yeah.
Well,
Ugh,
hopefully, whenever that event happens, you get a lot of people to go out there and kind of, I don't know, just kind of protest and bring awareness to those type of things. Because, yeah,
that's a good idea. Um, And
'Cause You're,
I know
you're allowed to, peacefully. You ain't hurting nobody.
that's true. And I know San Antonio has a lot of patriots there, and um, yeah,
Well,
I put it on my Facebook, so hopefully a lot of people see it. And
or hey, interact with one of these people, whoever's running these type of deals, maybe get an interaction with them, see if they'd be willing to do an interview. You
yeah,
know,
yes, indie herd mentality. I'm seeing a lot more of that. I kind of didn't understand what that was until I saw firsthand. And I was like, whoa, okay.
and when is this event supposed to happen again?
The end of this month. I didn't look at the exact date.
I'd be willing to bet if dig a little bit deeper, I'd be willing to bet there's other ones around that time too. It's probably ain't the only one. They're probably
Yeah,
doing synchronicity with other counties and stuff.
could be. Not here.
Yeah, it might not be everywhere, but you know how some counties do like joint task force and stuff like that.
Yes.
Um, yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, I was just shocked when I saw it. I keep saying there's not many things that'll shock me anymore. But I guess because I grew up there and till my teens, it just it surprised me. San Antonio has changed so much. It just didn't used to be like that. Not, and I have a lot of family there still, and they're divided, uh, in which way they lean, but the majority are with us. And a lot of hunters. I mean, my family, that has always been a big thing. Hunting, my first son was born because of hunting season. I was induced so they wouldn't miss the first day of hunting.
yeah.
That's how big it is. And my father always had a lease, and um, family, we've always had places to go hunt, but that was never a problem.
Oh yeah, same here.
Yeah. And
I do more fishing than hunting, but anytime that I want to go hunt for whatever's in season, I got, it's no problem.
yeah. Do you fishing?
Oh yeah. Shoot, most of the time now, like deer season, now probably pretty soon my nephew will call me up, say, hey, I got an extra one. And I'll just go pick it up and pay for it.
Awesome. That's good.
So hey, that eliminates half the battle for me.
Yes.
He bags them and I tag them.
Yeah. My son, well, a couple of them, they go hunt. But the thing is, they share with their friends. And I'm like, hey, mom here. Send me some of that backstrap. Darn it.
Oh yeah, some good stuff.
Yes. The best. Yeah, I even tell them, quarter it up and I'll take it. You don't even have to, I'll do the work.
Only thing I wasn't really a huge fan of is I tried one time I went and picked one up and they had some deer bacon. And I said, well, let me try some of that. I thought I would like it.
Yeah.
And it was pretty good, but don't expect it to really taste like bacon. You know what I mean?
Yes.
A little bit different. I mean, it's good. You can fry it up the same as you would bacon.
Yeah, I just got some beef bacon that the
There you
process
go.
my son has. Got the beef sticks, got steaks. I went a little crazy. But even doing that, I didn't spend as much as you would think. It was like $80. And
Not when you deal with them type of people directly, you know.
yeah, and fresh off the cow beef, it's like I know that no one has added anything or
Yeah.
grass fed beef.
It's like the main place I go to. It's a place called Lanier's, and I don't know how many years it's been open. It's been open long before I was born, so at least 40, 50 years. But when I was a kid, they were at a different location, more towards the countryside, and they did everything they do now, but they processed hogs and they processed deer.
Mm-hmm.
But something happened and they moved. And they moved more into the city, but now they just sell, you know, local meats and stuff like that. But they don't process any hogs or deer anymore. Same company.
Yeah.
That's usually where I go.
Yeah. My son, they don't do hogs or deer. Um, they're so busy just with beef. Anyone who thinks that the ranchers are not breeding, have herds, whatever, that's not true. It's still in high demand here. We have what is it called? The association, the Beef Association.
USDA.
No, it's not
Oh
even
no.
through
Something
them.
else.
It's yeah, and they have a big meeting. I think it's over West Texas annually, and hey, Turning Guns, good to see you. Yeah, it's big around here. I can't see any of that stopping. We have a new one opening up that's going to be doing deer, and I'm not sure if they'll be doing hog. We have so many wild hog around here. Somebody should be processing it.
Yeah. I mean, well, I can't say for certain, but if you could if you can do deer, you should be able to do wild hog. But I don't know.
Yeah.
But you would think in Texas, because y'all do have a bunch of wild hogs.
Yes. And I don't know if it's because they are wild. Well, so's the deer. Well, I don't know.
Couldn't tell you. And a deer is wild. You
Yeah.
know.
I'm sure it wouldn't be USDA, but there's still inspectors at all the processing plants, and they make sure everything stays clean and free of stuff.
We that type of stuff's in demand. It's like high end, really, because there's a restaurant that opened up downtown. It's called the Cork and Flame. And it's like a high end type restaurant. You know, you go in there and they'll go get you whatever kind of wine you want or whatever pairs with the meal. But like the chef, like he cooks all type of exotic stuff like ostrich, wild boar. I mean, just all different type of exotic stuff. Um, them folks that go there, man, they paid top dollar for that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice, but whew, it's top dollar nice. They're proud of it.
Yeah, the restaurants, they get a little carried away. Well, even up there at the processing plant, T-bones and sirloins are my favorite. And I picked up one of the T-bones and it was $27. And I was like, yeah, no. That's a little up there for me. Even though a T-bone makes, well, it was making like 3 or 4 meals from me, but now
That was a capital T-bone.
it's like 2 meals for me, 2 or 3. Yeah, it was bigger and thicker, and it go by the weight. So
It's like we got a place here locally that processes. All they do is process cows, and they get them in by the truckloads. But they have a place up front that you can walk into the public and go. You can buy directly from them.
yeah, that's the way this is. Yeah.
I don't know how quick they put it out, but I mean, you know, that's fresh.
Yeah. Well, I know my grandson, he's working in the butcher room, and and my sons told me sometimes they'll have 14 a day, and so that's how many they're doing. It's like a lot.
Shoot, this one here, I mean, they do thousands probably.
Oh,
They'll
wow.
do they'll do like a 1,500 shift. Yeah, it's a pretty big facility.
Okay.
They changed the name of it. I forget what it is now. I think it's FPL Food Corporation now. I think they own it. It used to be called Shapiro's Meat Processing, but they got bought out. But yeah, they have like, they bring in a bunch of cows.
Wow. That is a lot. As long as they keep it real, you know?
Oh yeah. I haven't had to go out there personally myself, but we've had guys that go out there and do work before, and they say it don't matter what area you go into, it's brutal.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Just the environment, because once you get in there, everything's got to be so cold, you know.
Yes. It is cold, and well, that's the one my son has. Everything is stainless steel. The walls, everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, definitely keep it clean, and it's butcher season now.
I don't know how long that place has been open. It's been there longer than I've been alive.
Yeah. Yeah, this one's pretty new. And it's out in the middle of nowhere. Like, really in the middle of nowhere. But they still have good business. Hobby.
11/11.
I know. And it's my oldest son's birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd have been cool if he was around in 2011. 11/11/11.
Yeah. No, he's getting old. I see their ages and I'm like, can y'all stop it? Making me feel old. No.
Yeah, I see that in my nieces and nephews.
Yeah. Had one with a birthday Saturday. Thank y'all.
Got a birthday this month. Just gotta remember whose it is. Somebody's.
From now till goodness, February is constant birthdays, well, even through February, March.
Yeah.
With kids and grandkids. So we know. Never mind.
Yeah, it's like in my family. Now that I think about it, there's like a big group of us that was like born in the summertime, like when I was born, and then there's like another big group that was like born, yeah, around like I don't know, yeah, Thanksgiving to January kind of.
Yep.
Guess it was a Merry Christmas, you know? Who knows? Yeah. It's like my mom's and one of my grandma's birthdays is in one of my mom's and my granddad's is in December.
Yeah. Yeah. Me and one son are summer, and that's it. All of them. Well, hello, Blackwatch. Rabbit.
Oh, one of my nephew's birthdays is in December. Forgot about that. Shoot, he's taller than me.
Sounds like northern people cuddle.
Guess you got to. You don't got no choice. It's winter hit.
Yep. Yeah, I saw somebody saying, yep, it's getting to cuddling weather. Well, they didn't quite say that word. Still.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I get selfish. I usually take off Halloween till about March.
Take off.
Yeah, it just limits the traveling and the gift giving, you know.
Yeah.
New Year's.
Yeah.
Shoot, it's already going into the second week of November already.
I know. These months are just flying by.
I think I'm gonna start boycotting time. It's going too fast. Just gonna stop. I'm gonna
I'll
stop
do that.
acknowledging it.
Yep. Slow down time.
You're gonna have to remind me it's Turkey Day. Just not gonna think about it. Not gonna think about the dressing and the deviled eggs.
We cuddle year round. There you go, Indy.
Oh, it's kind of. It was sunny, but I mean, it was kind of cool. It was cooler than normal. It was like the mid to low 70s today.
Yeah, we've been doing that.
You know, it's like it keep reminding us that it's like I guess officially fall, but then it reminds us it's not really fall the next day. So
Oh, we got up to 82 today.
I think we're supposed to get somewhere near that tomorrow.
Yeah, it's been like low 80s, high 70s. Oh, I see a 43 at night. Thursday.
Yeah, there's a couple of days this week they're talking about. I don't believe it though. I'm not going to acknowledge it.
You're not going to acknowledge it.
It's just too cold.
It is. And I know that these people in the north think y'all are crazy, wimps,
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, we
It's a
are.
brisk spring day to them.
Come down for one of our summers.
I think it's just like the temperature difference. I think it's the shock. You know, like one day it could be like super warm, or it starts off like t-shirt and shorts weather. Then once the sun goes down, you got on pants and a hoodie. You know,
Yeah.
we have a lot of days like that.
Oh my goodness. A bred cow goes for about $4,000.
What kind of cow?
Bread.
A red cow,
Bread. Where'd it go?
like the color.
I'll let you read it.
Oh, a bred cow.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what that means, but man, that's a lot either way for a cow.
Yep.
Hmm.
Bidenomics.
Yeah, even at half a cow, that's $2,000.
Yeah. At our local processing plant, seems like it's about 1,500 for a half. And so that's what us people that don't just have that pop out all at once, we kind of go together and get
Yeah.
it.
It's good they still give you the option to, you know, buy it like that. I mean, even
Yeah.
though the price on everything's up, but you know, you can get some savings or some deals when you buy it that way.
Yep. So the big talk is the Federal Reserve.
Uh-oh, what's going on with those guys?
That they need to go. And how is that even possible?
Well, anything's possible.
Really?
Even the word itself says impossible.
Yes,
Or will we see it happen? I don't know. I'd have to see a lot of things to make me say that first, you know. And that's, I don't know.
I guess I don't understand what it is exactly. I thought it was just where they stored the money,
It's
printed
just
the money.
pretty much like a governing body. Pretty much.
Ah, okay.
I mean,
I'll have to look into that.
it's a lot more to it, a lot more intricate parts, but it's just pretty much like a governing body of finances, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I need to look into that. Right up my alley.
I mean, of course, it's foundation and creation. I mean, it's got a dark past and history, you know, when it was created and all that type of stuff. But
Yep, right there by you.
yeah, I always try to put Georgia in the mix, man. I love it. Gives me something else to talk about. But yeah,
That's why there's so many churches in Georgia. Battle all that evil.
I mean, in the grand scheme of time and everything, I mean, it hasn't been around that long, really. A little over 100 years. 111 years?
Has it been that long?
Say it was, 1913?
Okay. I don't know why I thought it was the 30s, but Yeah.
So I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it hadn't been around that long.
No. So, when was the military created? Do you know? I know
I
you
mean,
just did
different
trivia.
different branches come at different times. Like you said, yesterday was the anniversary of the Marines being created. It was created as a naval maritime defense during the Revolutionary War. They come at different stages. Of course, the Army was a little bit after that. Just different stages and times, you know. Hey, look where we're at now. Now we got the Space Force. And now we're going intergalactic.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey, Sharon. Good to see you.
different agencies, they change over a little bit over time, you know.
Yeah.
I think like when the Secret Service was first created, it was more or less like a policing of like money and stuff, coinage and stuff. And then it kind of morphed into protecting the president.
Oh, Richard came to visit. Hey, Black White.
Hey, Bonnie. Hey, what?
Hello, mate.
Might? Do you know the history of that, your Federal Reserve?
Sort of.
We have a counterpart here, Bank of Canada, and it was started in 1935. That was the first issue of money. But we had multiple banks, Dominion Bank, Toronto Bank, all these. And as each one surrendered the right to print their own currency, they started the institution number 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 major banks here, and more or less parallels yours down there. You know, the CDIC, Canadian Deposit Insurance Corporation, is an extension of that to cover your deposits in case it goes belly up. So
Right.
I don't think, don't call them for dinner reservations. It doesn't work that way.
And I guess here it's what is it? The FDIC?
Yeah, Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, which is an extension of the government in case the bank goes under to, I think it's 60 or 70% is insured, something like that. I don't know. It's been a while. I played around with that for about 10 years with currencies and things.
Pretty much what they are. They're America's biggest financial institution, biggest bank.
Yeah.
Call them a bank. That's all they deal with.
Yeah.
Mm.
The overseeing and stability and all that. It's pretty much, same thing as the Canadian version, you know.
Yeah,
Few laws and bylaws may change between here and there, but it's pretty much the same.
Then you have the IMF, International Monetary Fund, which handles, country currencies back. Apparently, there was David Dodge. He was the head of the Bank of Canada for about 3 or 4 years, and he became the head of the IMF. So whatever, just bankers.
Yeah. Different levels.
But
so I've been going through everything I have, like everything, and getting rid of anything that I don't absolutely have to have. And so I found this coin. I had this little box with my name on it. That's where my Girl Scout badge is. It just little personal things to me. And I had a coin in there, and it says Queen Elizabeth II on the front with her head. And it's a $1. And no telling where I picked it up. Because when you work in restaurants or convenience stores, people will slip you odd coins.
Yeah.
For whatever, but
I got a jar like that. Any coins or whatever from any country I get, I just throw it in that jar.
Yes.
Or if I get still run across maybe some wheat pennies or some bicentennial quarters, I'll throw them in there too.
Don't you dare mention wheat pennies.
Yeah.
After my father passed away, my mom decided, I heard about wheat pennies. She's got a great big jar of American pennies. And I said, forget it. You're not going to find them. Because by the time you got it, somebody already looked for it.
Mm.
Well, you never know. I've seen where if it has just the littlest defect, it's worth some money.
Yeah.
So you're not talking domestic coinage. You're talking about world, anywhere.
Oh yeah. Pretty much anywhere. If you had a defect or something, the rarity, or
I hate to say it, for the most part, you have a little club called the Dead Presidents Club. If you ain't dead, you're not getting on a coin, or anything else for that matter.
Good to see you, John.
No, we more or less started with English coinage in the beginning, farthings and shillings and what was the ones?
What are
The gold coins.
pence.
No, it was
rubles or rubles or rubles? I don't know.
no, I can't. The gold coins.
Shilling.
No, shilling was about 22.5 cents. This was gold. Albert was on it.
I couldn't tell you.
It was kind of like, here's a $5 or $10 coin, gold coin. I can't afford 2 cents for a loaf of bread. What am I going to do with that, right? But yeah.
Got a bunch of the presidential dollar coins and Sacagawea dollar coins they put in circulation a while back.
Yeah. But everything now is just steel planchets. There's no copper or whatever.
Yeah, copper clad.
Chima Merkel, it's good to see. That is too funny.
You guys will never give up paper money. We sadly did. It's never happened in history. If you have a Toronto Dominion Bank $3 bill, it's worth $3. But now the Canadian, the Bank of
So, if y'all gave up paper money, what do you use?
No, I was about to qualify it. If you had a 1923, 1923, they called them horse blankets, $2 bills and that. They're worth $2. You can get $2. However, the Bank of Canada currency, $1, $2, and the $1,000 bill is no longer negotiable. They're just a piece of paper. That happened in January 2021. Never happened in world history, in our history. $1,000 bills were being used by organized crime, for one thing. But
So y'all have $3 bills in Canada?
that's of the banks, yeah. There was $3, $7 bills from different banks. They were issued by the major.
Man, I like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That would be. Wow.
Have some couple $3 bills just for a souvenir.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother apparently had a number of 1923 horse blankets, which it depends on the condition. And when the 54 series came out with Elizabeth, she thought, this is not going to be any good. This is a story I got. This is just going to be pieces of paper. So she took them to the bank at the new stuff. Of course, all the tellers kept them, right? Depending on the shape of them. But yeah, I spent about 10 years with that as a hobby. Just to
Got some Canadian coins, no paper money though.
No paper money. That's where I made my money. It was just something to do, and I made a bit of money. That's all. You order like a brick, 1,000 bills, but you don't have them counted. They're in the the cellophane from the printers, and but anyway, it was interesting.
Come to think of it, I haven't seen them using $1,000 bills at the bank.
No, well, yours is still negotiable, but I doubt too many are printed. It's the old joke. The billionaires down there. There's $100 bill in the gutter. It's only $100. Forget it. Somebody needs it, we pick it up. All right. Very few people need them. I think you still have $10,000 bill. I think it's been a long time. But I've said to my mom one time, and I never thought, I was just kidding. When they took silver out through the 20s, it happened down there and up here. And then the stock exchange crash, depression. So I said, something, 1920, my mom was more than 21. So I said, 1920, they stopped all the silver. They said there was an abundance of coinage. It was really the depression coming. But you could go to Ottawa to the mint, and there was the odd set that went from the cent, which was a large cent, to the 50-cent piece. That was it. It was about $2 and something. But the 50-cent piece of 1921 is worth anywhere from $250,000 to $1 million. And she says, we couldn't even afford the 1 cent for bread, Kind of made you think about it. But they found them in, the corner blocks of schools and buildings. When they took them down, they had the little balls in the corner blocks, and they pried the top off, and the odd one was there.
Yeah. That's one of the things that I was given was a box with a bunch of letters and things in it, and from my great grandparents even, and it's got tax receipts and their taxes. I think the highest one I saw was $14. And that was in like 22. 1922, not 20.
You weren't that old.
And
22, my goodness, yeah.
There was something that they were saying they spent $2 on, and now it would be astronomical compared to that. But it's so interesting looking back at the times whenever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
One that I saw, there was this, I think I told you, the guy that would smoke 2 packs of cigarette, work for the hydro. He got into it. He had a $1,000 bill. And he said, I think he paid $1,900 for it. And it was very, very good shape. But it said the Bank of something, which wasn't the Big Five. But the guy looked like Howdy Doody, the president. His eyes were bulged. He was bald. I said, this is a joke. No, it was real. It looked like a cartoon note. Hi, yeah. I'm William Smith, your unauthorized banker. When he looked like, Jesus. But it was a real note. Real note.
Thank you, Turning Guns. I can't remember where I found that, but I think Andy said I'm copying him. And Gma, when they were hauling cotton, picking cotton, they made 50 cents a day. So yes, I understand what you mean. So $2 was a lot to them. That's 4 days of labor from sunup to sundown. Even the taxes, that was a lot to them. And that's what I keep seeing is as the economy keeps, excuse me, that's why I keep saying quit raising minimum wage, because when they keep raising the minimum wage and the you know, giving you cost of living raises, all of those raises, it just keeps raising the debt. It keeps raising it's doing us in, is the way I see it. Yeah, that is hard labor.
I think we talked about that one night on your thing, 2.5% raise cost of living, and the food stores go up 6 same day.
Yes.
It's all anticipated.
Yep.
You can only stretch a rubber band so far. It can only hold so much.
Well, that's why I was shocked when you had, of course, it's international, your ports, the longshoremen, and they got a 50% raise. They wanted 70. Like what? But that's moving international goods. So you're not paying for it. Probably China's paying for it. Russia's paying for it.
Inevitably, we'll see some percentage of that. If you got to pay them guys 60% more, you best believe we'll see at least a 15% increase to compensate over the long haul.
Yeah.
You might not see it right now. I mean, it's just those. If it was just one little stone in the pond, it'd be one. Oh, okay. But it's just all those little stones and all those little ripples.
Yeah.
It's going to cause a tidal wave.
I don't know when they discontinued and stopped producing them, but I remember as a kid, when my granddad was still alive, he dealt with a lot with antiques. And him and his buddy DC, they used to do a lot of dealings and stuff together. They was like best friends. But DC, he had several collections of the entire sets. I don't know. It's just they were in packaging and stuff. Just like I guess he got them from the government or something. But it was $500,000, $5,000, and $10,000 bills. He had all type of money like that, old Confederate money, all type of stuff. That was one of his things that he loved collecting.
Hey, Matt, good to see you.
Old original silver notes and stuff like that. Stuff you just would never see again, probably.
Yeah, those notes, I think it was 1920 down there. The president, the government said it's illegal to own them.
As a kid, I'm holding them in my hand. It's pretty cool to not think about it, but to think about it now, I probably won't never see none of that stuff again.
Yeah, it was gold and silver certificates, I think they were called.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember that. Or I remember hearing about it. I haven't seen one. Have y'all seen the Goldback money? That they're, I think you can go to some banks to buy them. I don't know. I just keep hearing about the Goldback money.
I have to look into it.
The what money? I've never.
Gold back.
Gold backed, maybe. I don't know.
Never
heard that.
Front's regular. It's just the back that's gold.
Yeah, that's right.
A two-sided coin.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like. Like it was just.
I'm just joking.
The largest note I ever saw was a $500,000 note, $500,000. There's a company that bought it at auction. And other than that, they called them bank negotiables. Like today, you just zip. You need a couple $1 billion from the IMF. Here you go. Back then they were certificates, 50,000, 100,000, $250,000, and they'd hire like Brinks or Wells Fargo to
Like
do.
old war bonds.
They were bank negotiables. One bank, Fargo, needs to send it to another American bank. Well, you get this armored car from the day with these sheets of, that's how they worked it.
So was Wells Fargo the first bank?
I don't think so. They were one of the original.
Well, they opened up in
1800 something.
yeah, it was probably around the mid 1800s.
Yeah.
I think the Bank of America started a little bit after them, so they might have been.
Hmm. So if they opened in the 1800s and the Federal Reserve didn't start till 1911, what were they using for money back then?
Gold coins. Yeah, gold.
Coins. There was some coinage floating around. I mean, it wasn't highly used then.
Gold and silver.
You figure a lot of the people that came over, they brought somewhat gold and silver they had left, so they still had that on hand.
Okay.
Establishing a new college, and I imagine it was a lot of barter and trade, until you get things established and rolling.
Remember your old West where the guy comes in from Cattle Drive and he's got a $2 gold coin and bend it with his teeth, and I want some tobacco and I want some coffee.
Yeah.
Go fill her up, Jack.
Well, I know a lot of the stores, even my great-grandparents, they had a store, and a lot of it was on credit. But I guess at that time they had money. But if they were getting 50 cents a day, that's what they used to call a quarter. What's a 2-bit? Is that a quarter? 2 bits?
I'm not sure. I'd have to look that one up.
There's a danger with that. You know what happened to me? What's the sub shops and that down there?
It actually is. It is a quarter.
Oh, okay.
What's some of the submarine sandwich shops down there? I got drew a blank.
Subway.
Yeah, well, we have one, Mr. Sub up here. That was the beginning of Sub. But anyway, with a large shopping mall, they have currency exchange.
Oh.
You exchange currencies and that.
Yes.
I went to the sub shop, and this girl on
Oh, that's nice. That's a good one.
There was this girl on afternoons, and I said I saw her do that and ate the thing. This is going to the $1 and $2 coin business, right? So I put it in my pocket to go home, whatever, and I reached in my pocket for the coins, you're going to take them out. And I thought, we call them toonies, $2. I thought, this is awfully small. It was an Italian lira. I had to go back the next day to the owner, and I says, whoever's scoffing you, I want my $2 coin. He says, how do I know it came from here? I said, look into my eyes. It came from here. They were substituting. You wouldn't notice it. Just a little bit smaller diameter. And it's Italian lira. So.
That's the way. I think it's a Canadian coin. It's just a little bit different size than one of our coins. And so I would see a lot of that happening.
I guess they got one that's almost similar to our quarter and nickel.
Yeah.
I've gotten quite a few of them.
Tradition.
These Canadian coins get way down here. Who's
Right.
bringing even? What y'all doing down here?
When my parents used to go to Florida, somebody had a small little trailer and they used to drive down there. They didn't care for Georgia for some reason, but from about Georgia south, they would not accept Canadian coins. They would not touch it.
See? See, that's why I'm surprised. I'm like, how did it get here, you know? What do they do? Just get to South Carolina and just go around to Alabama and through?
Right.
Yeah.
My mother never told me why they drove right through Georgia. I don't know why. I understand Dade County, right? You don't want to go there, but
Maybe they didn't like King George.
I don't know.
Isn't Dade in Florida?
Yeah,
Mhm, Dade. Yeah.
I told you about a fellow I know got nailed down there. Went in like, you know, little schoolboy looking, and he came out looking like Goliath, like the Hulk. Chain gangs.
Oh, man, I bet Georgia back in those days was nice. Totally different.
Mhm.
Hmm.
A lot less development.
Yeah.
I think the most, I don't know what you call it, hardship of work gangs is when Hoover decided, let's build a dam. You ever see the stories of the guys working on that dam?
Oh, yeah, the Hoover Dam, yeah.
I owe my soul to the company store.
Didn't a lot of them, weren't there a lot of deaths from that?
Imagine so. Project of that size, yeah.
It
They had
seemed,
the guys going down the cliff, you know, and they diverted it. And it was like a chair with ropes. And they used like a gun type of thing to chisel the rock, but the rope snapped. There goes another one.
Yeah, I don't think they had OSHA back then.
A lot of men died on that. A lot.
mm,
Mm. However, I guess
That's-
it's its purpose.
that's one of the things I remember when we toured the capital of Texas and the dome. It's beautiful. I mean, but when they were doing the mural up there or something, one of the workers fell and didn't make it.
No.
It's interesting how all the state capitals have domes.
Yes. Well, in a lot of the courthouses, I was, because I like to take pictures of courthouses, and I saw two of them with a dome and then a statue on the top of it.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's
man,
all right. So the one here in Georgia is in Atlanta. The dome they got up there, it's all gold. The entire thing's gold.
oh, wow. I've only seen them silver.
It's pretty cool, but if you come through there at a certain time when the sun's hitting it, oh man, you got to have on some shades.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It was like a few years ago or something. They like restored it, so it was like real shiny for a little while. Oh man,
Ooh, 1878 silver dollar with 7 feathers. Huh.
Yeah, I always wonder whatever happened to my granddad's buddy DC. Man, he had like warehouses and stuff, and like man, whatever happened to all that stuff?
Mm.
Yeah. Chima, I do that too. I like to walk through them, and if it's something unique, I take pictures. Graveyards, especially down on the coast where you sit there and you wonder, was this a pirate or just a seaman?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that to a few here. Like the real old ones or a couple of the Confederate graveyards.
Hmm.
Can't
And
remember the guy's name, but there's probably several, but there's a guy I watch on YouTube. He does that. He travels around and like restores gravestones that's been damaged or maybe fallen. But while he's doing it in the video, he tells the people's story, who they are, what they did, and stuff.
yeah, and that's it. It's history. It's like remembering. Well, not remembering, but just you can see that life was hard during those times too, because when you look at the dates, most of them are not very old.
No, I mean, at that time you had to have, you had to be fairly wealthy to have a tombstone. Now today up here, you're only allowed a plaque, other than the old, graveyards. You're only allowed a plaque, a little brass plaque in the ground. They don't
Yeah.
allow tombstones.
Oh wow.
A lot
Really?
of graveyards are like that. Because there's one Mount Pleasant graveyard in Mount Pleasant Road in Toronto, and my parents and grandparents are there, but you couldn't get a plot. You couldn't get it because they had politicians and everything. But they opened subsidiary graveyards,
Yeah, and Shekel Spirit.
and apparently my parents-in-law and my ex's grandmother is buried in a place where you can only have a plaque. That's it.
Hey Chuck. So that's
That's interesting.
what I was wanting to do when I got into Louisiana, because from what I understand, they have more of a what do you call it when it's not underground? It's like a
Mausoleum.
Mausoleum.
okay, mausoleums.
They have two versions of that. They have the above ground where they put the urns, and then there's the low, underground mausoleums.
Yeah.
They just run out of real estate.
There's a bunch of them like that throughout the South. Different parts of the states,
Yeah.
especially near your coastal areas.
Used to be some very fancy gravestones. They had like angels on it, and
Oh yeah, real intricate.
uh,
They weren't cast. Somebody actually carved all that stuff.
yeah,
Yes.
Now they just cast a concrete mold or something.
Yeah. When we first moved to the country, it was a ranch, and they were subdividing the front of it into lots. And so my grandmother got a couple of them. And so I would walk that ranch all the time. And it was huge. And there was this little cemetery there. And it was so that the people that owned it, whenever we bought there, their last name was Schifferkater. So I knew it, German. And that's the tombstones. A lot of them are written in German. But like y'all were saying, they were carved into different shapes, and it was pretty cool. I spent a lot of time there.
yeah.
And good to see you.
What I always found most adorned modern day was if you find a section or whatever, be it from Italians, and they have portraits of photographs that are turned into like portraits, and they cement them into the tombstone.
Yeah.
Their brothers and their children, and very elaborate.
Yeah. And well, that's true, Gma. I've heard a lot of stories when Louisiana gets hit with hurricanes and flooding and
Oh yeah.
caskets floating around and
I couldn't imagine.
I always found when they extended the graveyard, they went to higher ground for some reason when I think about it. You know, all the, not the original, you know what I mean? They owned farmland or something, and it became, you know, the second generation. And
yes,
it was always on a hill, more or less. It was raised. It was, but then Toronto got hit by 1954, right on my birthday.
yeah.
Hurricane Hazel, and that was decimating to
That's
Toronto. You know.
that's the reason my grandmother picked um, the property out there. Is it's up on a hill, a lot of rock, and she was going by the Bible, and so my daughter and I have been talking about a family cemetery on it. It gives you breaks, and supposedly, if you have a family cemetery on your property, no one can take it from you.
No, that's in most laws.
Yeah. I've heard things like that. Or I don't know if it's everywhere, but like a lot in the South or in the Bible Belt, you know, if, a lot of churches, if you're a member of the church, you know, they'll have like church plots, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there was this one little church, and that's where I was like, okay, that's where I want to be. It's a Catholic cemetery. You have to be Catholic to be buried there.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird?
yeah,
And
I mean, I guess the church, yeah, each different denomination, yeah.
it's out in the middle of nowhere, and I don't even think they use that church anymore. It's just, but that's where all my first husband's family is buried.
I don't mean to be morbid, but I wondered it. So I looked. I don't know if it's everywhere. I don't know. But basically, if a graveyard is shut down, when is it okay to reuse the land? 75 years. At the end of 75 years, they determine there's nothing there.
What do you mean?
There's nothing left of no human remains remain after 75 years.
Oh, okay.
Determined, you know, for whatever reason, I guess developer, I don't know why they did it, but they determined 75 years, there's nothing left.
Turning guns. I absolutely understand what you mean. Going through, oh my goodness, there's about 20 photo albums that I still haven't even gone through. Just going through the framed pictures. There's tons of those that I've been making sure each one of my kids have one. But that's why you keep them, so they're not forgotten after the generations. I mean, some of the people, if you haven't seen them in a while, you may not know exactly who it is. We try to write on the back who pictures are of.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. That's a good idea. Turn them into digital files. Yes, it is turning guns, and it's hard to do. totally feel for you. I'll sit there and every emotion. My goodness. I just thought I was an emotional person before. We have Huckleberry. We have calm and civil here.